Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a special new episode of HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. I don't think it would be a surprise for anyone if I say that cricket is undoubtedly the most popular sport in Nepal. The Nepali cricket team's success has had a lot to do with this popularity. Our boys, despite of the lack of resources and stability, have been making their way up the international ranks to the point where they even featured in the biggest arena of all, the World T20. I think you'll agree with me that the popularity of this sport here is a consequence of its popularity in neighboring India, where cricket is not only a sport, but a religion. The Indo-Nepal cricket relationship started more than 1.5 decades ago. It began at the Tempo World Legends Cup, a tri-series jointly organized by the Cricket Association of Nepal in association with Z Sports in the summer of 1999. There, Nepal witnessed its first international tournament, one that featured international icons like Kapil Dev, Dilip Vengsarkar, Danny Morrison, and a lot of other star players. Speaking of Indo-Nepal cricketing ties, World Cup winning captain M.S. Dhoni was here a few years ago to meet our national cricket team. Cricketing great V.V.S. Lakshman was also here a couple of years ago to attend a cricket tournament. And this year, one of India's finest stroke players from the 90s, a remarkable fielder of his time, former Indian captain Ajay Jadeja is here to attend the nation's first Premier League tournament, the EPL or the Everest Premiere League. We are fortunate to have him on our show here today. Jadeja was a natural with the bat. He set high standards for fielding back in the 90s itself, when people hadn't really grasped the importance of good fielding to a side's success. With a contagious smile and his candid demeanor, Jadeja happens to be one of the most recognized cricketing faces in the subcontinent. He has also appeared in Bollywood movies, TV shows, and is now involved in commentary or cricket anchoring of cricketing events all over the world. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to the fun-filled Mr. Ajay Jadeja. Hi. Ajay, welcome to the show, sir. There was a music that was supposed to go off, but like, I can just see the excitement of you coming here and I hosting you, that we're just going to begin no matter what.
You know, I was told I got to, dance my way. But great to be here.
Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for finding time. Please.
Okay. This is nice.
Is it?
Oh, lovely.
You've been in a lot of Indian sets. We see you on TV all the time, commentating, whether that be or analyzing different facets of the cricket game. Ajay, first of all, welcome to Nepal. How do you like it so far? Is this your first time is also something I would like to ask. And anything memorable that has happened during this visit?
I came last time, 97.
97, oh,
while I was playing, and my parents were here. They were in one of the small towns outside Kathmandu.
Wow.
And we have a family that was known to us. So I had to go and see them. I had only one day, so I landed. The weather in winter is, how it is. The flight was late, so I couldn't go there. So I had a whole day to spend in Kathmandu.
Wow.
I had the blessings, I guess. I say it, I look at life that way, and I thought I was blessed to go and see Pashupatinath. So I had the opportunity to go and,
right. And it's pretty close to the airport, isn't it?
And so that was my introduction to Nepal. But this time it's wonderful. It's cricket that brings me.
How has this trip been different, and what have you been involved in these past 2 days? I know you're here for a short span of time, but I also know that the organizers have scheduled such tightly that you're not finding time to do anything, are you?
No, I love meeting people, and I was told that if you want to reach people and meet people, then you got to go on Namaste show. So here I am. And a big namaste to everybody here in Nepal, and thank you for watching.
What's the most exciting thing that has happened so far in your Nepal visit?
I think the cricket is what has excited me. The reason I'm here is because of cricket, and I heard you start the show and talk about the progress of the Nepal cricket team and cricket in Nepal generally.
Right.
Because 20 years ago, I'm not want to give my age away, but when I was younger, I think when we looked at a television screen and there was a sporting event going on, If it was football, India, Nepal, Nepal would beat us. And so you always think of football with Nepal,
Right.
and that of course is still the case. But cricket is something that has grown leaps and bounds. You look at your team now; they're doing exceptionally well. You have this great event that's happening called EPL. Players are excited. I met them; they are so happy with it. But what I'm excited and happy about is that the players of Nepal, cricketers, are being looked up to, and which is the start for any game to flourish. I go back, to my childhood days. I was 12-year-old when I saw, India win the World Cup.
Right, and you're fortunate to be in England at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, and that inspired, me to, I want to do that as well. So I see that same period here in Nepal. I saw the captain of Nepal yesterday. He's a young man, and I love his energy. I love the guy, and kids are looking up to him. So it'll be the next generation who will come and take it further, like with most things in life. And the next generation is always better, always smarter. As we get older, we say, no, I am wiser. But I always say my son is wiser than me because he's younger, he's got more time, and he has more aspirations than an older man. And I see that the young kids in Nepal are interested in this sport. So that excites me, and that's what brings me to Nepal.
Have you been following the development of cricket here in Nepal? What are your thoughts about Nepali cricket? What have you heard or seen so far?
Look, like everywhere else in the world, there'll always be a opposition and a ruling party. I'm not a politician, but world is like that. Whether you go to America, whether you go to India, there'll always be.
There's agreement and there's disagreement.
Disagreement, I think, a better way to put it.
Of course.
I learned one thing more today. And so cricketers or any sportsman, they play in their fields, they play in the park, they play at schools, they carry on. They don't care who's in agreement or disagreement. With Nepal cricket, if you see the last couple of years, I've heard that one of the the member body or the parent body of cricket has not allowed Nepal Cricket Board to be part of it, or they've been disbanded. I don't know the details of it, but they're not part of it. But in spite of that, you've had your best cricket tournament that has ever happened in Nepal. So that just shows me that it's not just the cricketers who are playing the game of cricket who love this game. It's the viewers who come to watch. Thanks to all of you, the media and the press, the business associates, the owners of the team. It's the society of Nepal which has embraced cricket and said, listen, look, we don't need you. We don't need any crumbs being thrown down at us and saying, and do this and do that way. Nepal is now, through cricket, is showing the way that what Nepal is all about. It's the strength of Nepal, the way I see it, whether it's the industrial houses, whether it's the media houses, whether it's the cricketers who are playing, they've all got together and created this great spectacular.
So from the outside, when you're observing the cricket scene here in Nepal, there are a lot of positives that you can look at, right? Like right through the development of cricket, like how it used to be 20 years to how it is now, the standards that the players have set for themselves. And like you're saying, that these players have now become household brands, so generations can look up to them and want to be like them. These are all positive signs. And if you were to take this into consideration, and this is a pure speculation, this question.
This is what we do in the media, don't we?
So how long do you think, I'll just throw it to you,
Yeah.
how long do you think before we become a full ICC member with ODI status?
Look, I said this in a press conference that I was there earlier, and I said till the day you don't get rid of that tag called associate, why should you be an associate member?
Right.
Like, you have more population than West Indies, you are a stronger nation. Sri Lanka is a good example for you over the years. I know that's a gradual process, but it is, at the end, it's all about your mindset. Those kids who are playing cricket at home today and the ones who are representing Nepal, until they believe that they can go and beat the best team in the world, whether you are called X or Y would not matter. And once you are told that you only have to work towards qualifying. And this is the conversation that I was having. I was fortunate enough to meet the Nepal players, and we were out at dinner last night. And I had this conversation, and I said, I don't know why you are only talking about qualifying, or why you're talking about being associate. You are playing with the same bat, same ball. Your bodies are far superior. You are better physically, equipped. You show that in football, don't you? You beat us all the time. I mean, Nepal beats India mostly. So this is just a different game. It's a belief that has to come in, and I think they have to not worry about when they become member of something, what they need to do is play this game the best that they can, try and improve, get better. If you are the best team, people will come to you. That is one way of looking at it. I look at it that way. I don't look, because what happens is when you associate with somebody, you always look at yourself, I am here because of him or because of some person. So I believe Nepal has that energy, that whatever little I've seen, and I mean by not just the players, I mean the entire gambit, the entire fraternity that's around it. I mean, I'm fortunate to be on your show today. If it wasn't for cricket, why would you have show, you're the most popular show, you need to be wanted to be seen by people, the interest has to be there. So the interest is there, but you are giving us the platform. So similarly,
pleasure I think is
no,
more to
and it's not me. No, I'm saying it's the cricket,
yes,
it's the
sir.
sport
Yes,
of cricket. So you have to make your cricketers believe that they are the best, and the time frame that you asked, it'll all depend on the person or a little kid who's watching on television today who wants to go out there and win the World Cup. You find 20 kids like that, you give them training, you work with them. You only need 11 players. You need 11 kids who are watching today to believe that we can win the World Cup. The process is the same, whether you're in India, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in West Indies. If you have a bunch of kids who are believing in winning the World Cup, if it may happen earlier, it may happen later, but that's what you need to want to achieve it. And I say, give yourself another 10 years. You start, whenever that kid decides, give him 10 years, you can be the best in the world.
Well, very motivational words here for all Nepali cricket fans and Nepali cricketers that are looking at the TV and wondering if I'll ever get a chance to become Ajay Jadeja in my life. He says, give yourself 10 years, work on it, and the dream is not far away as it seems. We're going to go for a commercial break, but on the other side, we'll also have the director of Zora Sports, the man who founded the Everest Premiere League, the man who's behind the concept and the execution. Mr. Aamir Akhtar is also going to be here, but right now it's time for a short commercial break. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. After that short commercial break, here on the show today, we've got Ajay Jadeja, former Indian team captain. I'm so nervous, you know. I remember days from my childhood. Again, not trying to indicate the age. So, right? I remember days from a certain past moment where I used to be glued to the television screen once you came into bat at the end of the innings and just stroked your way through. It was like you owned the entire ground and you know, that was your personality. Now, what I would like to ask you is, like, you know, tell us about yourself. I know you come from a cricketing family, right? Your great-grandfather's brother was Ranjit Singh Ji and your grandfather's brother was Dilip Singh Ji. Did it make it easier for you to become a cricketer, or did it add pressure?
I think cricket to me was my lifesaver. I come from that family, so I was sent to a school where our entire, generations have been going there as well. Like all families do, whatever father does, he wants his son to do. So I was sent to this school called Rajkumar College, and where even Ranji went and Dilip Singh Ji and all. But I was 11 years old. Something about that school didn't work with me, so I would run away, go back home, come back. They would, put me back, and I'd run away again. So I was one of those childs who had lost his way everywhere. And my father, who I lost last year, and he had his own way of, bringing me up, and I'm so blessed to have a father like that. He took me on a cricket tour to Scindia school. The parliamentarians were going on a cricket tour. Right. So he said, oh, why don't you come along? So I went on that tour, and that's where I met my coach, Sardar Gurcharan Singh Ji. And they must have had some chat, and he must have asked, what is this kid doing here? Why is he come? Isn't there school? So I don't know what conversation they had, and now unfortunately I can't ask my father. He's no more. But I remember the line that changed my life, because we were sitting and watching the game, and Sir was sitting there, and he was the coach at the National Stadium. So all the parliamentarians would take these coaches with them to do fielding, and he was pretty young then. And while we were watching the game, he looked at me and he says, "Agli baar jab school se bhagoge, when you run away from school the next time, come to National Stadium. We play cricket there all day." So I said, "Oh wow, man!" So I looked at, I said, "Yes, Sardar is a good guy, man. He's saying when you run away, you come and play cricket." So that is how I ended up with my coach, and that is how the serious cricket or the cricket that became part of my life. It was in our family, but then because I didn't enjoy going to school every day, but I enjoyed going to Sir every day. Right. So I started practicing 7 days a week because it was enjoyment. And then he took me to this school where actually I met my wife as well. So he changed my life. When I went to that school allowed us to play cricket. We have 6 players from our school who played for India, 3 at one time, and that's a record anywhere in the world. So that was a school that allowed me to flourish as a person, and that is what kept me in school. So cricket gave me everything in life, and so it was always easy because I was such a lost cause that neither my parents nor the society, they said, good, let him be on a cricket field, at least he's not doing anything wrong. And cricket is what made my life.
Let's talk about the Everest Premier League. What made you come to support the Everest Premier League? What can we expect?
I think, see, the basic is cricket because one, it's cricket, but more than anything else, I think it's Aamir, the person that you talked about. And I look at things my way. I may be totally wrong. Even in India or around the world, there will be enough people to oppose something. Whether it's in politics, whether it's in the politics of the game or associations and things like that. I'd heard about Aamir. He played for Nepal. I'd met him many years ago. Then a couple of years ago also I met him, and he believed in cricket should be run in a certain way. It wasn't going the right way and all that. And everywhere around the world you have these people who agree and disagree, right? He was the disagree guy. Most disagree guys in the world, I don't know all people in the world, most people, they would always stand against the establishment, whether it's the government, whether it's whatever, and always disagree and make a noise and be dharna and do that. So he did that. He fought with it. The best part that I like about him is he, at the end today with the Everest Premier League that you see in Nepal, he created the environment and the system that he believed in. So it's not just a thought that, oh, I want to oppose this, or I'm not part of this, I want to do it for that. He loved the game. There's no doubt about it. The guy played the game. He played for Nepal. So what more can you ask from love? Then he fought it. So what could you think? That, oh, he's just opposing it. But it's not just that. He didn't end there. He went out there, got the whole community together. All of you media is supporting it. Every cricketer in Nepal is playing that tournament. Every corporate, not every, but most corporates, I'm grateful to them. They've come alongside. The people have come to watch it. So he has created the environment and shown you how he feels. It may not be the right way. There will be people who will disagree with him, and that's life, and we all have our views. So there may be people who disagree, but he's shown there is a big number of people in Nepal who believe that, oh, this is a good thing that's happening. So he's created something of what he believes. And very few people in the world, you'll meet people who have actually gone out there and put out something that they believed in, executed it, and has put everything in behind it. So when this happened, there was no way that I was not going to be part of supporting him. I'm here only as a supporter of Everest Premier League, Aamir as an individual, his company, and the cricketers of Nepal, which I would have come anyway, no matter who's running it, because that's different. But here, as a personal friend, to come here and support this Everest Premier League is solely because of this man who has shown me a way in life that there is not only opposing is the thing. If you oppose something, then try and show the world how it should be done and try and do it. And that is Aamir for you.
Well, we've talked about the man enough, I suppose, and there couldn't have been a better introduction for Mr. Aamir Akhtar. They say the whole world revolves around whether the glass is half full or half empty. But absolute change triggers from a point where a person says, I don't care if it's half full or half empty, I'm going to go fill the remaining part. And I think that's the kind of man Mr. Aamir Akhtar is, the MD of Zora Sports and the founder of Everest Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Aamir Akhtar. Aamir, welcome to the show, sir. It's been a long time, hasn't it? How have you been?
Yeah, good one.
Ajay bhai has put up a strong.
Look, I have put up nothing. I have not added anything. I've worked in the media many years. I know how you can look at sides. But tell me one thing that I've said is not true.
Well, he's been as true as he can be. So this is why I'm going to. This is the first question that I'm going to pose to you both. All right, this is my question to you both. I mean, you're both cricketers from the 90s. Aamir continued to play cricket even after 2000s. But the peak.
I still play.
You still play, sir.
I'm not
of course.
And I can still play.
Well, I'll get to the moment of truth segment, and I have a couple of questions there too. But you tell me, how do you think this sport, cricket, has changed over the years from when you used to play and from now, from how it's being played today?
Not a much difference, but the only thing that we were lacking before is the number of bigger events. and accepting the change. That was not happening. That is the why that I, very much persistent with the board and tried pushing them that we should take cricket to the next level. But now from last few years, ever since the Nepal qualified for the World Cup, things have changed in a big way. Cricket has, like Ajay Bhai said, it has gone to the street, it has gone to the villages. It has become a dream now for the young ones to play cricket for the country, and that's what our cricketers have shown. So that is the biggest change that we have achieved, is the dream, is the ambition, is the youth going in the positive energy. And now when I see 2 years back when I saw that the whole nation was united to support our cricket team, in my life I have never seen that. That was the best moment. This has been the biggest change positively.
Ajay, if you were to draw on years' worth of experience and give one advice to aspiring young cricketers watching today, what would it be?
All I'd say is enjoy the game. Enjoy this game and look at this as your biggest mirror. It'll teach you more than anything else in life can teach you, because it is played with other people and it is played in front of people. So there is nothing that misses out. So enjoy the game, because if you don't enjoy it, it'll become a burden.
Let's talk about how you two know each other, or how Ajay Jadeja has come on to, of course, extend his support to Nepali cricket, because cricket is the common language we speak. But tell us about how you guys got to know each other. Aamir, when you were an aspiring cricketer, I'm sure Ajay Jadeja was already there, a mega star, a young heartthrob of the Indian nation.
I don't like the wars in it.
What's your earliest memory of
Yeah,
Ajay Jadeja?
even Ajay Bhai wouldn't know this, but and I told him in the car that I was playing that time for a Hindu college, Delhi University, and that was the best college in Delhi in terms of cricket, at least. So Hindu, St. Stephen's, we used to have a rivalry, and that day we played against St. Stephen's. So Gautam Gambhir, who was playing, Gautam Gambhir and I, we were in the same squad. And there Ajay Bhai, he just showed up. I don't know, he was not there for any cricket match for sure. And I see that all the college girls from St. Stephen's and the Hindu, they were running after him, and Ajay Bhai was running just to get into this car. That was the moment that I saw him, and I said, this man has got a huge fan following. And afterwards, I did wanted to meet him, and someone hooked me up 2 years back, and I actually rang him that this is what I'm trying to do, and listen, if we can work out something. I also need some professional guidance. So 2 years ago, then he asked me to come to his place in Delhi, and we actually spoke about almost, I think, 6 hours. We came in the afternoon. He was having a dal roti. He said, do you want to come and join? I said, yes, of course. Who would like to miss dal roti with Ajay Jadeja? And we ended up, I think, till 8-9 p.m. So I told him that this is what I have been doing, and this is where I've been struggling. And I'm just looking for the right guidance where I could actually relaunch this thing. So we talked in length, and then we continued talking. When things got right, when things got in favor, I requested him that, Ajay Bhai, I think I'm almost going through this one. Why don't you come and see the event as a special guest for us? That will motivate first me, second the cricketers, of course, and an entire community. And he kept me telling about the community building through cricket. When you involve your players, when you involve the youths, when you involve the sponsors, the stakeholders, the associations, even the local people, the layman, then you build a community, So I started, yes, believing in that, community building through cricket, So when I proposed, so he said, I'm on my way. So
how do you think Jadeja's presence has helped cater to the main motto of Everest Premiere League, which is to bring the entire country together for a common purpose, and that being the spirit of cricket? How do you think it's impacted that?
See, like Ajay Bhai said, it's only for the love of the game, right? If he's here, it's only for the love of the game. The game we are doing in a country like Nepal, so I'm sure he understands that part of it. uh, we don't have a can right now. I don't think even ICC is observing our event. I don't know about this one. On a personal note, I requested him, and I know that he is not into any association or board or nothing, just as a good friend of mine, excellent cricketer. And I said, and I requested him that, why don't you make your kind presence to this show? He made it. I think in the last 24 hours, whomever he has met, right from the players to the sponsors, the stakeholders, the media, everyone is thoroughly enjoying his presence. I'm sure he is doing as well. So he has actually brought more charm to the event for sure. His presence has been very, very useful for us.
Ajay, while you're here, I would like to also get to know your expertise towards the game. Like things that we perhaps don't hear of often, the guidances that perhaps we need as a cricket enthusiastic nation. And there's always a line between great players and average players. What do you think is the difference, or what do you think makes a player a great player and separates them from the average ones?
I again go back to the mindset, because I'll give you many examples.
Right.
I'll give you examples of, say, Rahul Dravid, one of our greatest players India's ever seen. He came in 1996, right?
Right.
He and Saurav Ganguly came together to play. Now, if you look at the first 3-4 years, I'm saying this is almost towards the end of the career, because a cricketer's career starts at age 8, 10, 12, 14, whatever. I'm talking about a period which world understands. They've seen Rahul Dravid and Ganguly and both becoming great players. The first couple of years, it wasn't that Rahul Dravid was touted as the greatest, or he can end up being the greatest. Virat Kohli, for that matter, he came in 2007 or 11. And at the first 3, 4, 5 years, it wasn't that. He was in par with, there was Rohit Sharma, there was other players also around him. There is something that clicks in your mind, which is your mind, that you have to first start believing yourself that you are a great player. And only when you do that is when you start working like a great player, and you start striving to become a great player. And to become a great player, you keep wanting to get better on a daily basis. No great player was born great except Tendulkar. I mean, there is always exception. Tendulkar, day one, at age 16, was the great player, the greatest. He ended up being greatest. That makes him even bigger. But every other player has always evolved. And the other ones who didn't evolve, like me, ended up being players. So you have a player and you have great players. Great players are players who went on getting better and better, whether it was technique, whether it was their fitness, whether it was mindset. So it all boils down to first yourself believing that you want to get there, and you start looking at it. And that's what I found over the years with my experience of playing and being around players, that the difference is always what that person, that player, like I said, find those 20 boys in Nepal who want to win the World Cup. That's the start of becoming a great player and a great team and a great nation.
Who are a couple of international cricketers in your radar that you think are going to become legends tomorrow?
Look, of course, these guys are all around. You see Virat Kohli these days. You've got Ken Williamson from New Zealand, because they're both playing in India, so they come first to your mind. But it's a process. I'll give you another example. People who started off far better than Tendulkar, Vinod Kamli and Tendulkar. Unfortunately, he had a very bad injury, and a lot of people look at it differently. He broke his ankle, which was impossible to repair, but he still carried on. He had grit. So there is a lot of things that go into the final result that you see, but the process remains the same. So these are the talented boys. I mean, it's very difficult for anybody. I wish I was a Jochi who could pick the next great player.
Your favorite cricketer or two that you played with in your time, and why?
Look, Kapil Dev will always be my favorite cricketer, because as a child, when you saw somebody, and that never changes.
But to play with, Ajay?
I was blessed to have played with Kapil Dev for India for a few years, and Tendulkar. We come from the same age group, so we played junior cricket, and then for India, he's the greatest player that has ever played.
Two of the greatest Indian players were also two of greatest partners to bat with.
I'm blessed. I always say that I am the blessed soul. The Lord has sent me to go out there and enjoy. Childhood, I had Kapil Dev as a role model. He was the man who took me to his team in Haryana at age 16. So I played for Haryana with him. Then I
Right.
walked into the World Cup game, my first game that I played for India, walked onto the field with him. So, what more can you ask?
And you're
then-
seeing a lot of him, weren't you? Like when you're in your school playing cricket, practicing cricket in the academy, you were
Yeah,
telling. And Kapil used to come there?
I was blessed. He moved to Delhi in '86.
Right.
So, and that's when he came to the same ground, Mr. Gurcharan Singh, my sir, that one line that changed everything. So he used to come to the same ground. So, we would get to see him. We'd see him how he practices. We'd see him how he, ties shoelaces. So there are things that inspire you. You don't know what works.
Right.
And there are many things that work. So I was blessed to have had spent time with all these greats.
And there are things that are always meant to be. And they will find a way in this universe to happen.
Look, if all that hadn't happened, I won't be on your show called Namaste.
there wouldn't be no Ajay Jadeja. But where I'm trying to go is, what do you think is meant to happen with Everest Premiere League? Now you've got support from a lot of people within Nepal, from few outside of Nepal as well, including cricketing greats like Ajay Jadeja. Lakshman, I'm sure, it would extend great amount of support to these kind of ideas. So where are you heading? What is the plan now? We are on to almost finishing the tournament now. Tomorrow is the final match. Where do you see EPL in the coming years?
See, EPL right now is the need of the Nepali cricket, and we got to have this sort of tournament to nurture new talent. That's for sure. This is a start. It's a challenge, but the bigger challenge is to continue, and this is what we are looking at. We would like to continue this as an annual event every year. We would like to have the sincere support of the same players, the sponsors, once again the entire stakeholders, to get this thing going, right? So that is what probably we'll be looking at, and we shall be working post EPL, and we sit down again and say that how this could be planned in a better way. Of course, this was done in a very short frame of time. I think within 2 or 3 weeks we had to organize this one. But from next year, we just have to keep improving. We have to keep making it bigger. If you ask me about the benchmark sort of thing, then we got to make this league as one of the best leagues, if I'm not underrating.
Or being ambitious, yes.
Among the associates. It's a very possible thing. In a country like Nepal, there's a huge fan following. There's a huge involvement now. Yes, cricket has become very much part of the sentiments, which other associate countries they're still lacking. So if we take the right steps now and we make this thing as a continuation thing, then this could be the heartthrob among the associates for sure.
Ajay, I would remiss if I did not mention the controversies in your career. Tell me, how did they change you? Looking back, what would you change?
It made me a lot grayer, as you see. I'm grey now. It taught me a lot more in life. It taught me that when you represent somebody, you're not an ordinary human being. You're blessed to be representing somebody. So your levels of morality, society have to be above everybody else. That's the biggest thing that I learned. You cannot be an ordinary person and have the benefits of being a part of a team or a celebrity or representing somebody. When you represent somebody, you need to stay above everybody else. Your benchmark has to remain a lot higher.
So along with the perks, there has to be restrictions. Everything comes from the package.
Life
itself,
comes
right?
differently. I mean, if it was a 3-year struggle, I mean, I had to, because you go to, there's an X person saying something, Y person saying something, media, we all work in the media, things go out, become big headline news, and the world believes it, whether it's true, not true. So it takes time for you to come out with your side, and where do you go? You go to the media. I'm blessed in India that media is quite open. They're not biased on government or anything. So that was the first battle, and then it was the courts and the places, and then finally the cricketing fraternity, because then I went back to playing for Delhi, then played for Rajasthan, then went to Haryana, couple of years ago, I played my last Ranji Trophy game. Not last as in last. You never know. I might
Right,
play
latest.
right. And next year,
So-
Ajay Jadeja might just ring Aamir Akhtar up and say, "Hey, why don't I captain the side in the EPL?" You know, like.
No, I expect him to call me and say, "Can you?" Well, that's like how he has his fight and
Right.
his belief and what
Right,
he's
sir.
created. I have my own little fight as well. That fight is about the cricketers. That fight is about that sportsman. That he is out there fighting. Why should he come and beg to you to play?
Right, of course.
You should be going to his doorstep and saying, "Please come and play."
Would you
for
be
me."
up for it though? Playing for EPL?
If I get a knock on my door, yeah, maybe.
Ajay Jadeja is the coolest person you'll ever meet,
And one of
but he demands respect. Like,
And he demands respect not for himself. That's what I want, and I've been talking to him as well. I said I want the players of Nepal.
Right. Right.
They have to be respected. Obviously they're professionals now. Like I said, when you represent somebody, you've got a different benchmark. They need to deliver something, right? But people who are, whether it's the board or it's called CAN here, I believe,
Right.
when it used to be, or whether it's ICC or whether it's the private owners that we have in India and
Right.
now here, they need to respect those players in this way. I'm not saying in any other way. You employ them, they're your employees. But you got to say that, okay, can you come and play for me? Whereas all the associations and all these big people feel, they want to sit on the chair and say, तुमको खेलना है, मैं खिलाऊंगा. अरे आप नहीं खिला रहा, वो अच्छा है इसलिए आप खिला रहे हो.
There's a mindset that
Yes.
change from the stakeholders
That
as well.
is my mindset. That the guys who you represent also, yes, I respect them, like I said. But the people who are having you represent them should at least have the respect for that player. That you are playing for me not because I'm doing you a favor. You are playing for me because I want you to play for me. And I hope that happens to every cricketer that plays in Nepal for whichever team that they're going to represent. When you give that respect to that player, he will understand what he has to give back to whether the team, whether the owner, whether the
Right.
society, whether the government. So it works both ways. So I'm fortunate to have seen both sides, and I hope the cricketers get that respect and the popularity and everything they will get with it. And they will have to do a lot for the society as well.
Very wisely put by Ajay Jadeja. This last question, and after that we're going to move on to the moment of truth. I also have a little game that I want both of you to involve
So both of
yourself
us
in.
play?
Both of you playing. Like
I'm gonna
it's
bowl.
not going to be Aamir Akhtar bowling or Ajay Jadeja batting, but it's to test whether Ajay Jadeja still has his fielding skills. We've seen some amazing run-outs while you've been playing. And Aamir, let's see if you're fit enough to be in the next EPL as a player, if you want to, that is. But before that, let me pose this question. I've been drooling about this for a long time. Do you think, this is for both of you, do you think ICC should expand its membership to include other nations as well? The way it stands, I mean, cricket seems like an exclusive sport, which is hurting its popularity. So do you think it should be more open to include other nations as well?
You answered the question. Should they be open? If somebody is closed, they don't want to embrace anybody.
Right.
If you're open.
Is that a right tactic for the development of cricket?
Look, I don't run any boards. I don't represent them, so it'd be unfair. And in my personal opinion, I've already expressed, I think cricket is a sport. Sport should not be ruled by one person or one body or one.
So why do you think it hasn't happened as of yet?
Here's an example for you. There is no body that exists today. You still have your best tournament that's ever happening. Why? Because people or the kids who play cricket want to play. People who want to watch, they come to watch. Media is supporting enough because they look at the cricket and they report it. The sponsors see something in it, so they are part of it. So cricket is for all. It is the community sport. Nobody owns this. Nobody should be ruling it. We had, world around, there was monarchy everywhere in the world. World has moved on. So, the world is a free place. This is a sport for kids, for older people, everybody to play. Why should I only play under somebody's banner? I should play the sport. Yes, if I want to play for you and under your banner, then I should be abiding by all what you say. Not just because I'm the apex body and I give you crumbs at the end of the year and then I tell you how to run your sport.
Right.
How can you have a system in, I won't take Nepal and any example, because tomorrow Nepal might want to be part of them. What works in US, can it work in my house in Delhi? No.
Probably not.
Not. What works in my house, dal roti, can it work in your house? I come to your house to eat what you make.
Right.
You come to my house to what I make. We got to respect each other and everybody has their own system. So you have to find your own way of what an association or a body or a company or whatever way you look at it, what will work in the environment of the country called Nepal. So you have to ask the people of Nepal what they think is right.
So
And here's an answer.
micromanaging would never be the right idea. Aamir, what are your thoughts on it? Do you agree?
No. So here we are. We are here sitting on that same chair
Right.
with disagreement. But there's only one agreement. We both love cricket and we enjoy the game.
All right. With that, I'm going to move ahead to the moment of truth
Yeah.
segment. First, I think I'm going to play this one with Aamir Akhtar, and then I'm going to move on to Ajay Jadeja. Ladies and gentlemen, playing the moment of truth with these two amazing people and two fine cricketers of their time, and still strongly going ahead, Ajay Jadeja and Aamir Akhtar. This is the moment of truth. Aamir, I've prepared a few questions for you, sir. I would like you to answer them. Of course, you've played this segment before, and this is with respect to the Everest Premiere League that we've tried to design this questionnaire. Best moment in the Everest Premiere League?
I think tomorrow it's going to be.
The best moment is yet to
it's
come.
not over, till the fat lady spins. So.
Worst moment in EPL?
Was the opening ceremony got disrupted.
The
because
rain
of the
gods
rain. Yeah, but
riding.
again, you can't fight with the nature, so we got to accept it.
In India, we say when it rains on your wedding or any day, it's a blessing from the Almighty.
Right. It's pretty similar here to
Yeah,
with what they say.
it's a blessing in disguise.
So what was the most difficult part about organizing the Everest Premier League?
I think we had a very short time to execute the entire plan. So we hardly had around 15 days. So that was not difficult, it was very challenging that we got to put up a good show so that everyone is happy. Of course, there is huge scope of improvement, but we could somehow pull it.
What do you love most about Ajay Jadeja?
I still remember Jadeja Bhai was running and there were a lot of girls who were running after him.
So his charm
It's
is what you
yeah,
love
it's very
most
clear
about
in my mind.
Your favorite Indian cricketer? he's sitting there staring at you. You know, it's going to reflect. It's going to reflect after the show, Aamir.
I live in a realistic world. I don't even call my own favorite is not myself. So I don't. You have to be real in life.
Right. So Aamir, who is that going to be?
I mean, everyone would love to see Sachin Tendulkar, but I like Dhoni's calm aggression, you know. And I haven't watched the movie, but I could see with the trailer, a small village town boy, this is what he could do. And the way he has transformed himself, very down to earth, humble. When you see his batting, he's not the most technical batsman, but he plays with his heart. He plays for his country, he plays for his team. So I'm a big, big admirer of Dhoni.
Jadeja, a better batsman or a better fielder?
That's a tough. that is really tough.
You don't realize that, I mean, everyone talk about Jadeja's 25 balls, 45 runs against Wakariness.
Right.
But
Don't
let
tell me you're going to talk about that hat-trick over.
Yeah, exactly. I think when India needed 3 or 4 wickets to win. And
Right. It was
you
the
know,
47th over, I think. 2 more overs remaining.
Yeah,
And you had like
and you took, I think,
right.
3 or 4 wickets.
3
in that
wickets
over.
in an over.
They had not let me bowl for 2 years. And in that match, I was the captain.
Yeah, and you could have the
I
privilege.
Said, you know, this is the opportunity.
And there were 2 frontline bowlers remaining.
Yeah,
And you said
no,
like,
but they had only 1 over
one
left
over each, yes,
So
yes.
I said, you know, this is my goal. I said, captaincy ka fayda utha.
So that was very special of him, and that also showed the diverse
Right.
talent that he has.
and it's
apart
all
from-
about the mindset, isn't it, for Ajay
Yes.
Jadeja? He comes in with a mindset to conquer,
Yeah.
and when he's done, he's conquered it.
Yeah.
Rate Ajay Jadeja's performance, in fact, acting performance in the movie Khel.
I didn't see his movie.
Oh, come on, you can't. Oh,
but-
I've watched it 2 or 3 times on TV, and I bought a CD to watch that film. Right?
See, that's the difference. He's been busy fighting cricket and trying to create something. You had time to.
Have you watched it, though?
But in that that trailer thing that I went through, he kept saying there was a dialogue which he often uses, I think in daily life as well. Sabka bhala karo.
Right.
Yeah, so I think in that movie also he has that sort of character.
Well, what is the worst response or comment you got about the Everest Premier League?
I didn't get the worst thing, but I got a collective of suggestions from the fan base that this is what we could actually improve on. We got a lot of, I would put the other way, we got a lot of appreciation from the from our broadcaster. The quality, everything was right, but we got collective of suggestions how we can make it better. But there was nothing called ugly comment or worst
Wow.
comment as such
Wow.
so far.
You're not successful then.
If
No,
people are
when you-
not
when-
criticizing,
no,
sorry,
when you
look
say
at Jadeja and me, like people criticize us so much, like we're so successful today. Aamir sir, like,
Maybe you, I'm not successful.
well, in terms of criticisms, we are, sir. Would Aamir Akhtar, would the then Aamir Akhtar fit the now Nepali cricket team?
Of course, yes. I mean, as a cricketer, you would always want to play.
I'll
for the
stop you at yes. Aamir with this one, Who was your favorite player in the Everest Premier League?
I can't have my favorite as an organizer, but I wish Sandeep could have joined us. Of course, he's missing for better reasons. But then I was quite excited to see the energy from Sompal.
Right.
And also I wish that Siddhant Loni could actually be performing for bigger matches. There's a huge fan following for him. But I was quite happy to see the younger one like Sunil Dhamla.
Right.
Yeah, he was very, very exciting. So this is what
The under
actually,
19
yeah,
cricketer.
yeah, this is what
Right.
we're looking at.
Ajay, moving on to you now. I hope you'll be honest, fast as you can, and just fire back at these
Cross
questions.
my heart. So all this while we weren't honest. Oh, script. Where's the script? To be honest, right?
All right,
That's only for moment of truth.
we're going to play Moment of Truth with Ajay Jadeja. The Moment of Truth begins. A player you hated playing against.
Oh, Wasim Akram, I guess. He was too fast and too good, man.
A player you feared playing against.
Hated and fear is different.
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, Wasim
You want to
Akram.
change hated?
No, no, it's the same.
Like just didn't like the sight of him, like.
No, I meant sight of him.
Or like.
Had to be an Australian. It would be unfair because when you talk negative, it's better not to name people. But yes, as a side, there would be one that would get into your skin and.
Right.
And,
With all the
and maybe
sledging.
the other reason was they were a good side. they were a better side than us at that time. So that's why you hate them. And I think that's good because you want to go and beat them again.
So the Australian team is whom you hated playing against and
Yeah.
then feared playing against was Wasim.
Well, same way, yeah, there's no doubt.
A player you hated playing with.
Why all hated, huh?
There's a fear in between too, but these three are just supposed to like set the nerves up for the entire Moment of Truth segment.
I'm
So
trying to think of a player, and I forget his name, was way back in school, my class team. There was when I went to the school that I told you
Right.
about, and I had gone because of cricket, and he was the captain of our class team, and he didn't select me in the 11. So he's one man I hated. That's the only man I hate because he didn't keep me on his team.
right.
Otherwise, every player that I played with, I'm grateful to them, and I'm blessed that I had great teammates.
Which is easier, acting or dancing?
Dancing.
Dancing's easier.
Oh yes, I love dancing.
We're going to come back to worst again. Who's the worst commentator in the circuit today?
I'm not on the circuit, otherwise I would beat everybody else. There's no doubt. It is a very tough job. People don't understand. I mean, I tried that in West Indies, and it's very difficult. And I think I'd probably be the worst in the circuit.
Politics in card for Ajay Jadeja, yes or no?
Yes, I was born in a political family.
Right. Your father was a member of parliament.
Yeah,
himself.
and 3 generations before that we were ruling,
right.
and I'm still in public life, and I look at that as politics,
is
not
on the
as
cards.
elections. No. I mean, see, you don't need to get elected to represent people. Here I am sitting here on your show today talking about cricket. Who sent me? Myself.
Right.
So you can do, politics is not just opposing, it's about doing what you think is right and do it in the way the society wants it to be. So I'm not an elected, not a person who's standing for elections anywhere of that kind of politics, but yes, we all are part of politics, so there is politics in my life.
If you're offered the job of coaching Nepal,
I
would
forgot,
you take it?
my wife is from the opposition party in India.
Wow.
So there you know, so politics everywhere.
Coming back to my question,
Sorry.
if you were offered the job of coaching Nepal, would you take it?
Oh, I'd love it, because that's something like I love doing.
Who would you rather be, Ajay Jadeja, the cricketer, or Ajay Jadeja, the media celebrity? Or is there not much of a difference in these both?
I think if it wasn't for cricket, there's no Ajay Jadeja. I mean, then I'll be only known to my parents and my, 5 friends that I know. Wherever I am, whoever I am, it has to do with cricket. If it wasn't for cricket, there's nothing about me.
Who's a better fielder, Ajay Jadeja or Ravindra Jadeja?
Oh, Ravindra, of course. There's no doubt. You heard me talk earlier. The next generation is always better and always smarter.
If you could go back and change one thing,
Would want my hair to be black again, but not in terms of dyeing it.
Right.
But yeah, you can't go back in life. You can only go forward.
so
Anybody,
you don't rule over it.
anybody who's looking back and wanting to change something is, I think you're already late. You got to look back, learn from it, and try and move forward.
But Ajay bhai, that's the beauty of your hairstyle,
We love it.
No, no, I'm not
Fans in
saying it.
Nepal love
No, no.
it.
It's just, I'm just saying you need to learn from the back, but the reality of world or real world is that you cannot change what has happened, but you can change the future. And I hope to change the future, whether it is myself, whether it's a game, whether it's anybody. If I sit with you and if I don't enjoy it, I will make sure I don't come back. But if I've had a bad time with you, I cannot change that, right?
No.
So future is what I can look at.
Would Ajay Jadeja make it to today's Indian cricket team?
If Ajay Jadeja was 20, he would be a different player.
The Ajay Jadeja that we saw in the 90s, do you think he would, it's Aamir shaking his head as if to say yes.
Yeah, I agree with him.
He said yes to his inclusion in the Nepali cricket team too. He said, definitely.
He said it on his own confidence. I will use my teammates for this. if Ajay Jadeja could be in a team where you had Tendulkar, Dravid, Ganguly,
Right.
Kumble, Lakshman. Lakshman wasn't part of the team, he would be sitting out in those days. So if these greats, if you could make it into team then, today I think there's about 10 spots there.
Wow. Someone you feel shouldn't be near the team but is today.
You got all difficult questions.
I think analysts.
Analysts?
I believe that analysts should not be around the team. Analysts should be with the coaching. They should be with the young players at the age of 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. This is your final frontier when you play for your,
There's less to analyze and change.
No, it is time to play.
Right.
You as a child or anybody who is today 10-year-old wants to play for Nepal, wants to win the World Cup then, right? If he's put in 10 years, you got to use the analyst there to make him better. But once he's there, this is what he wants to do. What are you going to analyze for him? Let him go out there and play his game, man. It is a sport, it's a game, enjoy it.
You might say politics is not in the card for him, but the way he's answered all of this, I certainly say that he's,
But I thought I answered, I'm in politics.
No, you have.
All difficult
All right.
ones with
Name 3 Nepali cricketers, Ajay.
Oh, very difficult. Paras is the only name that comes to me. I'll be very honest, because that's the only name because I happen to spend more time with him. So I'll give you a few names. There is one called Kaka, former player.
That's Ashok Priyadarshi,
Right? So look, I'll be, people I meet, I spend time, I could know. If I had done research and got names, I would have had 3 names ready for me.
Well, if 1983 World Cup winning Indian team played against the 2011 World Cup winning team, who would win?
1983 winning team.
Wow.
Because the 2011 team all started playing because they looked at them. They would lose in the dressing room.
They're losing the mindset itself
because
in the dressing room
So
itself.
if you believe in something, then the results also, you have to think that way.
True that. One movie you wish you got to play in
As an
as an actor.
actor, Look, I made one mistake, right? I made a movie. I apologize.
I like that movie.
I apologize to all.
Ajay Jadeja was playing himself.
No,
the cool, fun,
no,
down-to-earth character that we know him to be.
No, I enjoyed myself. I loved it, and it was great. But I think it's injustice to all the great actors that are around the world, because when they do that job, they do it so well. So whether it is the Indian actors or the actors here in the movies here or in the Hollywood, so it is totally unfair. I was only blessed to do that because of being a cricketer.
All right. If an Ajay Jadeja biopic were to be made, we're discussing about biopics all through, who would you want to play you?
When is it going to end? Look, I mean, see, biopics, I've used, as you see, biopics, some biopics are made, like Milkha Singh Ji's biopic that you saw. It was made, and as soon as his Olympic medal got over, the movie finished. I think the way I look at life, I look at Milkha Singh Ji would have been the greatest asset for India if India had respected him all these years. That was only one event. It was what, when he was 22 or something.
Right.
He is today 60. We as Indians, and I always say that, we have lost 40 years of Milkha Singh. We've not used him. You know, so it depends when. So you tell me what age to what age is the biopic, and I'll give you a name.
Well, I'm thinking something along the lines of how the Arjudin's movie was made with Imran Hashmi playing it.
Or definitely not him.
So you don't have an actor that comes.
No, I don't think the way
you don't want a biopic.
No, I don't think because he didn't interact with the ladies well.
Ah, well, there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Ajay Jadeja and Aamir Akhtar, and now what we're going to do is we're going to test their fielding skills. In fact, we're going to test their throwing skills. I'm going to put in one stop over that end of the set.
Okay.
And Ajay and Aamir, however you like it, if you want to sit, if you want to stand, you've got to throw tennis balls at the stump. Let's see how many of them you get to hit the wicket. Nikesh, if I could please have a...
That's like a super over.
It is almost like a bowl out, it is. But you can throw, you don't have to bowl at it. And now if you could pass me the balls. What do you want to do? You want to sit, you want to stand?
You can now just play the recorded message. Aamir wins, there's no doubt about it.
All right.
Look, he's a man.
There are 12 balls. You're going to throw.
He's a man
six of each of one of you are going to throw 6 at the single stump that's there.
Maro.
All right. So, Aamir Akhtar, the first one to throw. Let's see where Aamir gets it. Oh, no.
No problem.
No. Oh, no. Oh, that was close. That was close, wasn't it?
Maro 6 over. Continuity mein ho jayega.
It seems it's more difficult than it is.
Yay!
Oh, finally, one's been done. If we could have the stumps
outswinger, and then
arranged again.
the middle one.
Yeah.
All right. There we go, yeah. So, Aamir's got 1 out of 4. Oh, that's the 5th one. That's the 5th one. So 2 out of 5.
Yeah, you just
Finally
stay there.
coming back to form now.
It's just
Couple of trials.
rhythm is. That's why I said don't stop. See, in the game, this is the pressure.
Right.
Now, when you get to the last over, if you miss this, okay, you finish it then.
Ajay Jadeja commenting over. Oh wow. Well.
Look, so he's the winner.
From 3.
Winner.
Right. Ajay, now it's your turn. Sir.
I have no chance with Aamir.
I mean, it's just
I only talk. Aamir has produced EPL. He has created.
Now it's Aamir's turn.
Can I get
to
you to do it for me?
Well, I could try with 1, sir. But five is on
No,
you.
1 is yours.
All right, 1's mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to do after Ajay Jadeja as hit 5 because if he misses, then I don't have any pressure. All right?
Can I get him to do it?
No.
Okay, so I need to hit that.
Right.
Ajay bhai,
Oh,
up, right?
that was close.
Oh,
That was close.
Aamir jeet gaye.
3 gone, 2 more to go, sir.
It hit the wicket.
It came back and hit.
Oh,
that was close.
wait, I know how to get this one.
That was close.
One
sir.
more.
There you go.
Hey!
Oh, Well.
wins.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for agreeing to
thank
come
you.
here. Thank you very much for sharing this time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, two cricketing legends in their own rights here with us at HUAWEI Namaste TV Show studios. Of course, this video is going to be available on YouTube, and you can also watch the repeat broadcast that starts from 10:30 p.m. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much for the love, for the support.
Can I say something?
Ajay,
Can-
please.
As a request from a cricketer, all of you watching this, if you go out there tomorrow and support the cricketers of Nepal, if you're there, they'll get energy. There is nothing, nobody makes, there's no ticket, it's all free. So please come and support your players, our players, Nepal's cricketers, and encourage them. Thank you for watching.
Well, with that, we've come to the end of a special episode of HUAWEI Namaste TV Show with these two fine gentlemen. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Till then, you guys stay tuned to Nepal Television. Have a great night. Bye-bye.